Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Two Girls Trying Not to Quit. And today we have a hot topic that many people have requested, and that is dating in your 20s.
I love this. We're going to be talking situationships, our standards, what we've learned, what we wish we would have known.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this one. And I would love to just kick it off with just for you, what's been one of the lessons you've learned while dating, maybe a confusing moment you've had while dating?
Hmm. This is a great question. And honestly, this is something that I wanted to say. This episode is going to come from very two different perspective because I'm a Christian and Audrey's not a Christian. She can talk about what she believes. It's a different set of beliefs. We have different perspectives. So our answers to some of these things are going to look very differently. Even in our dating advice, our dating lives are very, very different. When we're talking on the phone and she tells me about what she has going on and I'm freaking out, I'm like, how could you ever do that? And then I tell her some of the things that I'm doing that I expect from relationships. And she's like, no, I would never do that, which I think is great because people out there are different. So it's going to be great to have those two perspectives on this podcast. So, okay, you said most confusing dating moment or what have I learned? To be completely honest, I've had one serious relationship in my life and it was 4 years and it was great. We broke up because of natural reasons. We started when we were very young. And I could say that the biggest thing I learned leaving that relationship was to set standards and stick to that because I haven't gotten into any other troubled relationships, you could say, just trying to find the next person or letting my feelings get in the way of not wanting to be alone or something like that. I don't think like that. I know what my standards are, I stick to them, and I filter through when I'm talking to someone. And I quickly know if I want this person in my life for a short or a long period of time. And I just stick to that. So that has avoided me a lot of painful mistakes. So that's what I would say. Now, let's get like right into it. I do want to talk about dating apps, which is a very hot commodity in this modern day dating world. So, what do you think about dating apps? Have they made dating better or worse in your opinion?
A lot worse. I liked it actually. I liked it up north because there was more intention. People actually seemed like they wanted to date. Here, it's just like a hookup situation. People aren't really serious, and there's so many options that people can just be like, oh, I'm just gonna. It's too easy just to find the next thing. So it just there's not much intention. Plus, it's so hard to feel that chemistry. You can really only feel that in a room
Yeah.
talking to someone because within the first couple of minutes, you know it's either yes or no. And it's like if you're going on a dinner, you know at the first moment, it's like, crap, now we have a whole
Yeah,
hour that I'm going to have to
for
spend talking
sure.
to this person. And I'm not the one to leave. I will do that eventually, but I won't get up and leave a dinner.
Yeah, you will stick it through. Honestly, for me, the worst thing about the dating apps and honestly social media in general, but especially dating apps since we're on that topic, is that in your brain something changes. Because if you meet somebody and you're just talking to that one person, that's all you can see, right? You're not thinking, oh, there's somebody better out there. I mean, of course, you're trying to filter through, but that's not what you're thinking. But on a dating app, you're talking to 50 people at once, almost like you're numb. I have 49 other options. And you don't even know the person. You don't know if you're disqualifying somebody perfectly fine for you that you might actually be compatible with just because you have an endless
Yeah.
sea of options out there. And in your brain, that actually changes something. That's why there's so many people out there struggling to find someone because you always think you can find somebody better.
And every now and then I do meet a person that I've seen on a dating app, and I'm like, wow, we actually do kind of vibe together. I would have never, or they just look different. I mean, you can edit your photos and stuff, or you have a photo from 5 years ago and it's not the same person anymore.
Yeah,
So the amount of jump
catfishing out
scares
here.
I've had on dates, I hate to say it, but
Unfortunately, I do.
and that's the hard part too, is the dating apps, it's just visually you're checking and like being like, yay, yay, nay, yay, nay. Well, there's so much importance behind someone's personality and that you just aren't going to get through a text or a
Yeah,
prompt on a profile. So it's like you really don't know unless you meet someone in person. So
right.
dating apps is just I think
Yeah.
it's just
Now
something people do when they're bored.
let's say it worked, the dating app, or let's say you meet somebody organically. Let's say you're dating on the next phase, right? Why do you think everybody is scared of putting labels on their relationship too early or at all.
I think that varies depending on where people are at mentally. I think you have to heal yourself first to be ready for a relationship. So some people are there's different buckets. Some people are they need a relationship, they need companionship, they don't want to be alone, and they've just jumped relationship to relationship. There's some people who've had bad experiences, so then it's they have issues with commitment. So putting a label
Yeah.
on something seems scary. And then there's healed people who meet another healed person and are like, yes, let's get together. It makes sense to have the conversation about being in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's other bubbles to fall into, but
Okay, so where do you think you fall on that, on those categories?
so I'm in the non label category. I've definitely sat in the situation bucket for the last 5 years. Oh my gosh. I haven't dated someone. I haven't been someone's girlfriend in 5 years. It's kind of crazy to think about right now. I've dated a ton of people. I've gone on so many dates, unfortunately. And I've been in, I think, 2 or 3 situationships that was basically we were dating, but we weren't.
Oh, you didn't put a label on it. So
No,
it's just stayed at a situationship.
yeah. So, yeah, I'm at the stage of, okay, I need to heal my past before I'm ready to be in a relationship with someone.
Yeah,
And
for
I think
sure.
because I'm in that state, that is also what I'm attracting. You can't heal when the people you're around have the same problems that you have.
Yeah. And I'm so
So
proud
that's
of
my
you
mic drop.
for I'm proud of no, I'm really proud of you for admitting that because there's many people who just live in denial, but you at least know what the issue is and you want to fix it
Yeah,
because you eventually want to be in a good, healthy relationship.
yeah, I think it could work out. The problem is it hasn't worked out. It's been like you
Mm.
had a nice long relationship that sounds like it ended amicably. I've
Yeah.
had a lot of relationships that just have not ended well. So it's like the idea of getting into another relationship and having that
Yeah,
happen
so
again
it's
is just like not worth it.
yeah, it's those wounds like you have to heal like you said. You know
I
you have
thought
to
I
heal
healed
those
them, but
before you can give yourself completely to another relationship like that because
yeah.
you're acting from a place of like, "Oh, I'm scared that that's going to happen to me again" because that's been your experiences multiple times.
Now we're having a therapy session. We love. They said we're gonna talk about this topic, Audrey. It's really important. No, it's just a time for us to have a therapy session.
A documented therapy session.
Because
You can
it
ask me
sounds.
too.
I was about to say it
You
sounds
can
like
ask me
you're
too.
ready. Like it sounds like you're open to have those conversations, and you're in a place where you're okay to put a label on something. Like
Oh,
why are you
I am
coming from
not
that
I'm not
mindset?
even I am not even okay. The only acceptable path on my mind. I will not say on a friends with benefits zone. That doesn't exist on my mind. It doesn't exist.
That's
I'm
good.
not the
Don't
girl
go
for
there.
you.
Would not
I am
recommend.
not the girl for you. I am 100%, to get to know someone and give them a chance to see where they want to go. But if it ends up they want to go into that friendship, situationship kind of thing because they're afraid of commitment and they don't want something serious, I'm not your girl. And that's totally fine. Love you from afar. And yeah, that's where I'm at because I know what I want, and what I want is a family. And I'm not saying that I don't want to get married next month. I'm not saying that. I want to say I want to have kids next year. Again, what I'm saying, because people hear this and they get scared, it's not like that at all. Like I definitely want to enjoy my time with my partner before we are in a marriage, before we are parents. I definitely want to spend that time well, but I will not invest my time, my energy, my everything because when I'm with someone, the only thing I think about is this a potential forever person? Like, can we build a life together? Do we share the same values? Can we build a family together? That's where my thought process comes from. And if they're not on that same frequency, then that's just not my person. I'm just very, very aware of that. And I can spot people that are not meant for me to do that.
Have you always had that, or have you like slowly started raising your standards as you've been progressing in your 20s?
I've always had that. Again, this is a whole nother thing for another podcast episode, but in Cuba, you grow up earlier than most people do in the US. Like, for example, I started going out and at 13, late 13 going to 14. But it's crazy to say that my crazy party years were from 14 and 15. 14 was the craziest year. So you start early. And on those days, again, I was not thinking like that. I was not thinking commitment. I was not thinking like that. I would go out and meet one person and another person. Again, super
Meet them in
chill.
the alley.
Exactly. Meet them in the alley in Cuba. Again, super chill. We were 14. I was not doing anything crazier than that. But it was very sporadic. And then I just came, I remember at 16, I came over here and my life completely changed. And I was in that relationship for 4 years. And the reasons that, we broke up like are irrelevant. Like it was just time. We started when we were very young. And of course you change. And I needed that time on my 20s to be single, to know who I am. Because I started with him when I was like 16, very young. You don't even know who you are. So I definitely needed those years to just be me.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
think that's
so
one of the
grateful.
reasons
So
I'm
grateful.
holding back is because even just in the last year, so much has changed for me. And if I find someone now, it's inevitable that we're going to break up because it's like I know there's going to be so much growth, and someone would have to be able to grow with me or keep up. And maybe it sounds like selfish to say, hey, someone's not going to be able to keep up with me, but to
But
meet
what if,
someone at
no,
23, I don't think we'll still be together at 28. We're going to be like completely different people.
you know
She's I
what?
agree to disagree.
Yeah, I agree to disagree because the most beautiful thing is to grow with a person. Like, that is the most beautiful thing. But
Because it's like,
you have to be on the same level. Like, you will have to be somebody. And honestly, like for me as a woman, you need to admire your husband and respect him. And they need to have a lot of drive. And if you're a woman, for example, I know you are a woman who has a lot of drive, a lot of goals, and you're a go getter. If you set your mind to something, you're going to go get it. It doesn't matter what you have to do to get there. You will do it. So for you to be with a man and to grow together, like, that man has to be just like 10 times above you so that you can actually admire him and stay on that respect zone. Because the minute a woman loses respect for a man, it's over. It's
yeah.
over.
I think it's so hard to find that initially because it's really difficult to find someone who is striving for success and wants to level up and not just say that they want that, but their actions are also aligning
Doing
with it.
it.
And it's just, there's so, especially a lot of guys at our age, they just have no drive or they're still in college and they're just thinking about, I don't even know what. And I can't even deal with it. I can't even hold a conversation with them. And which then I date older men and then they have other issues
Yeah, other issues is the best
and
thing.
they're not healed
Trauma.
and they
Let's call
don't
it
want to heal.
trauma. Trauma. That exactly that they don't want to heal.
Yeah,
And what I
that's,
would say to that is run. Run as fast as you can.
but I can save him. I can fix him.
You know what? I did the biggest eye roll ever, and that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna say
I
anything else.
blame TV. I blame Barbie movies and I blame the Hallmark Channel because every man on there is damaged and the woman comes in and magically fixes it with cookies and smiles.
You know what?
And
It's true.
and
They did
it's
some
not right.
damage.
Even Bridgerton, okay? I am Daphne. She meets
I
this
do
man.
not.
She wants I don't want kids, but she wants children in marriage. And she meets the Duke, and the Duke wants neither of those things. And magically they build this big beautiful life together. And it's like that is not like you should not be attracted to the man that wants exactly opposite of what you want. It doesn't work out that way in reality. But we're
Actually, yes,
painted
I
this picture
agree a
that it
hundred
does.
percent. I agree a hundred
So
percent with you.
the new Bridgerton dropped. I cannot wait to watch it, but I don't have time
Yeah.
to watch it.
No, and something that John Maxwell always says is you can't change a person. A person can change, but only if they want to change and for factors that are not related to you. Like, a person is not going to change for someone else. It's not going to happen. What's going to happen, they're going to have smoke screen like in a freaking sales call. They're going to gaslight the shit out of you. And then they're gonna come exactly who they want to be because that's who they freaking are. They're not gonna
Yeah.
change for you, for somebody else. No, they're gonna change for something else because they want to change. Something happened in their lives. They're turned 40 and they realize they're alone and miserable, and then they want a family, something like that. But for a woman, I don't think
Their
so.
actions have to match their words because I will believe that is my fault. I will believe you could tell me the sky is green and I'll be like 100% lie. The sky is green. So if you tell me something, I believe it, and it's my fault at my core. But at the same time, it's like I trust people. But now I'm like, okay, is what they're saying actually aligning with what they're doing.
Wow. We're actually so different because I'm the opposite. I don't believe anything. Somebody tells me something, I'm like, they're lying.
I don't, I had a wonderful childhood. I can thank my parents because I am such a trusting individual. But it's terrible in sales because someone will be like, I really just need to talk to my husband. I'm like, oh, 100%. She totally does.
But
And it's like, no, you should
they're
not.
lying.
Put on your big girl pants and give me your credit card number.
Preach. All right. So, what standards, now that we've gotten the situationship out of the way, what are some standards that you have raised in your 20? Or, better question for you would be, what standards do you want to raise in your 20s to not fall into a situationship again?
Yes. I'm starting to realize that I would be open to the idea of dating someone. We're working on healing ourselves first, and then that can become a thing. But once I get to that point, you want to write a list, like how we did our goals. We
Mm.
put on paper what we want, what we're looking for, and that way you can really visualize it and analyze it. Because until it's at that point, I don't think you can find it in other people. Being able to actually set what I want so I can find it and holding boundaries. Bad at setting boundaries for myself and keeping them. So
I
that's
love
that's
that.
I'm like I'm gonna have to re-listen to that for myself because
Yeah.
like wait, I need to
Honestly,
take
yeah.
my own advice.
Homework of the week, re listen to your own advice over and over and over and actually take it.
Yeah, 100%. Um, I mean, for you, what is some kind of advice you would give to someone? Because we are in different stages of dating. As I'm still trying to figure things out. I've had this really bad pattern for multiple years. You know what you want. You seem to have healthy patterns in relationships. So, so what advice would you give to someone who's trying to figure that out, trying to find their person? Maybe
Yeah.
just
Yeah, honestly, I wrote things down and I had six written down, but the first one that came to mind when you were saying that was don't be desperate. And I didn't even write that down, but I had to say it because it just came to mind. Don't be desperate. Breathe. You're not the only one in the world. Take a look. Like there's this do you know that there's a trend going on that being single and having girlfriends is becoming more popular than dating someone and having a relationship and getting married and having kids?
I honestly much prefer to go out to dinner with a girlfriend than some dude. It's
Okay,
just the
yes.
conversations are better. I have more fun. I laugh more.
But that's something that a pattern that is changing in society. It's like girls are changing to look for that emotional connection to in girls. But it's because we're not supposed to find like a little girlfriend to always be with us in a man. Like that's not the job of a man. But this world is upside down and now men are princesses. But anyways, let's get back to our advice. So, number 1, I would say know yourself. And I've talked about this in another episode and just now be with yourself, take some time off dating, of situationships, of hooking up. Take some time off of all of that and just be yourself. Be your own person. Take a look at what you don't like and what you do like. That's number 1. Number 2, date with intention, meaning have a goal in mind. And I know people would say, "Oh, you're in your 20s. You're supposed to have fun and be crazy." Have fun, but be smart about the fun that you're having. That's all I'm gonna say. Be smart because then you're crying to your friends and then you're traumatized and then you hate men for the rest of your life. But in reality, and I'm not saying it's all your fault, but you do make your own decisions and you decide to stay in a bad relationship for longer than you can admit to. And that's not good. So date with intention, know what you want. Number 3, don't neglect your friends just because you're dating a man. And I'm talking specifically to those girls out there that make the new men they have every 2 weeks their whole personality. And
Yeah,
then
it
they
feels
come
like the
crawling back to,
identity.
exactly, they come crawling back to their friends when the guy is no longer there. So don't do that. Don't be that person. You can have both. 4, set healthy boundaries early on. And this ties together with having intention. Because if you know your end goal that you want for a relationship, when you're getting to meet someone, you're naturally going to have boundaries. Because if you know what you want and what you don't allow at all, like you don't allow disrespect, you don't allow abuse, you don't allow all those things, you're going to have healthy boundaries and they're going to know the intention that you have. And guess what? It's going to make your life easier because if they don't agree with those boundaries and they don't want the same things that you want, they're going to be gone off your life and you're never going to get to the point where they're going to hurt you. And 5, this is going to be controversial a little bit because 5 for me, it's so real. And it's something that I told myself, like, I would say 3 years ago. and it's don't look for love, look for compatibility. The thing is, when you meet someone and you feel all this rush of emotions, and you're like, oh my God, I'm in love. Wow. You love your mom, you love your dad, you love your friends, you love a lot of people. You don't feel that rush of emotions with them, do you? No, that's called chemistry. And it happens when you meet somebody and you're getting to know them. It's a lot of chemistry happening. It's just body chemistry. That is all that is happening. It's something new and exciting. But guess what? That feeling is not gonna be there 2, 3 years from now. It's not gonna be there. And then you're gonna start realizing, shoot, I really don't like hanging out with this person that much. What happened here? Like, wow. And it's actually a doctor from Spain. She has said this before. It's like it's like you're blindfolded. It's like you have a smoke screen, like you can't really see. And then 3 years from now, you can see those red flags that you couldn't see before because your feelings and all that chemistry was on the way of you thinking rationally. So, what I mean by compatibility, do you have the same values, the same goals, mutual respect? All those things you need to talk about it in the beginning of the relationship. Don't wait until 3 years or later. No, in the beginning. If it doesn't make sense, shove your feelings up somewhere and throw them away. And leave because it's not gonna make sense in the future. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to do, but it's gonna save you a lot of heartbreak.
I'm still trying to learn for myself what that looks like because I'm in a defensive mode of protect my heart, try not to get back to where I was before. And so my perspective is at a completely different place because the safety's not there. So I'm in this like fight or flight mode. So I can't even get to that point where I'm like, what do I want in someone? What would those things look like? I can talk about it, but realistically, it's still not there.
Yeah, no, but honestly, what you said is perfect because I feel like there's a lot more people that are gonna relate to that. Again, sometimes I feel like I'm an ice brick or something. Something's
I'm
wrong with me.
I'm on the far end of the spectrum. I swear I see someone like trip and fall and they're hurt and I will start crying. Like, I do not know. I feel like I have something off in my like when the news is on and someone's being killed, I am crying. I'm cooking my eggs, I'm just bawling. I see someone get hurt on TV and it's like I don't know, like my level of empathy is a little bit too strong, which is in part why I got into sales because like okay, I can start to like learn these things and learn how to set boundaries and how to speak
Yeah,
up and how to be challenged in those certain ways. So when it comes to a relationship, I just
yeah.
know my emotions are so strong and I care so much about other people that it's like, wow, I don't even like I will put myself aside before
Mm,
someone else, and I can't get into a relationship until I put myself first
yeah.
before that, and be
No,
able to
I
find
love
like
that you're
healthy
being
boundaries.
super honest. Yes, I know. I love that you're being super honest. And I think people are going to really appreciate that because there's many people out there that feel the same way. But can I ask you, and if it's okay to ask you, and if you want to be super vulnerable right now, like, what is it that you think you're the most afraid of when it comes to relationships or like getting into something serious?
So I okay, I'm like about to get really deep on you.
Yes, yes, come, come. I love
um
this. Go.
so the last time I was in a relationship, it was a couple months after I got into a car accident, and the accident was really bad to the point like I had a brain injury, and it I couldn't do basic things like talking and walking, like had to relearn that. But it also messed up my emotional regulation. And so when I got into this relationship with this guy, I got very attached to him. He used to be a friend, and then we moved into dating. And I relied on him for so much of this healing. But
Yeah.
he was a little like a little cuckoo. And he was the type of person that just wanted his partner to only him, which meant like he slowly started manipulating me to
Mm.
not like my family, not like my
Mm.
sister, not like my friends, and completely just keep me in this bubble. And I was in this state of mind where it was so easy to do that as well. And then once I started healing and actually getting my mental state back, I started
Right.
realizing like I hated my family, I hated my sister, all of which people I love very dearly. And I was like, okay, what is going on here? And there's a lot more that happened in that relationship. And along the lines of even like physically, he was not nice to me. So to
Oh, hell
go,
no.
I know, so
Give me his name and address right now.
I know it was to the point where my dad was like, I'm literally going to get a shotgun and I will go to jail. This is like ridiculous. So And it really took my whole family like rallying behind me to make me get out of this situation I was in. And so it just was so far off the deep end that that is my last experience in dating. So I've never been able to open up and get close to someone because it's like, why is it even worth it when that was my last experience? Because I cared so much about this person
Yeah.
and they hurt me on so many levels that it's just not worth it. And I don't know what it's going to take to heal that, but I mean, there was so many things that had happened, which is my brain healing, that's even just like wired into the new me.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of what I put out in my defense is like, oh, I'm so busy and someone has to add value to my life, which is true.
Mm.
But I don't know if that's like the reason
Yeah,
those
but it might
are
be
the smoke
excuses
screens.
trying to avoid a real thing because you don't want to go through that again. And that's totally
Exactly.
valid. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you, because that's not easy to share. That's not easy to go through. And I feel like I understand where you're coming from a lot better now because it makes total
Yeah.
sense.
I know I
After
have a
that, it
lot
would
of
be very hard. It would be very hard to open up again.
yeah, so I have a lot of bad rooted patterns that I need to unwind. But this last situationship I was in, like, helped me look into the eyes of what it would look like if I stayed where I'm at long term. And it's like I eventually would love to be with a partner and have that person that I care and respect and vice versa. And to see someone be like, I would never ever get into a relationship again. It's like, I'm not there. I have the same, like, similar trauma of where I'm not ready, but I'm not completely sworn it off because I still think it's possible. I just have to heal first.
I love that. And it's gonna happen and it's gonna take time, but I'm 100% sure it's gonna happen. And I can't wait till the day where I see that. And I
I'm
mean
just
it. And it's okay. No, you're on your own path. We were talking about this last week. You're on your own path. This is a judge free zone. Everybody has different experiences, different ways to live their life. That's totally fine. I'm just very excited for you to have a healthy relationship where you are loved and cherished and admired the way you should be and treated
yes.
the way you should be because you absolutely deserve it as well as any other woman out there.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I truly believe like my person is out there and they are going to be such a special and phenomenal person and I cannot wait to find them, but I am perfectly happy waiting until someone checks
Exactly.
all the boxes.
Yeah. You're waiting.
I
You're
don't care if
actively
I'm 50
waiting.
and I finally meet them. Luckily, I don't have the fertility deadline.
No, please. I want to wear a pretty bridesmaid's dress, not a
Yes,
50,
true. True, true,
please.
true.
It's a need. It's a need. Okay, Audrey. So now let's do rapid fire questions. We're almost done here. So rapid fire questions. Question number one, biggest ring flag.
I like someone who has good relationship with their friends and family. That's like my must have. How about you?
Someone who has goals in life and ambitions,
Now,
whatever that looks like, goals and ambitions, and takes action on them. Because, yes, if I lose respect for a man, that's it.
action's the key. Throughout this, action has to be there.
Yes.
What about your biggest red flag? Like, how do we pick one?
biggest, biggest red flag bringing you down. Like someone who brings you down because they fear you might be more successful than them and they need to bring you down to feel secure about themselves.
Wow, yeah, that's a good one.
Not happening.
I think you can tell a lot too by how someone, when a lot of first dates, it's like dinner or a meal, how they treat the waiter. And if they have respect for that, if they tip, if they're rude, if they put how they set up the table once they're done, if everything's everywhere or they clean up,
Yeah.
make a big difference of how they ultimately show up.
Okay. Now, texting versus calling.
I feel like I'm more of a calling person now. I used to be texting, but calling.
I'm like, texting, I don't need somebody to text me that much, but at least put in the effort and call me. I feel like if you like me in whatever aspect, you will want to talk to me, I guess. Okay, first date deal breaker.
I don't know if I'm trying to think. This is kind of like along the lines of a red flag. Um, it has to be a fun date. I'm honestly tired of going out to meals. I want to do an activity. I want to like go and I will actually do this is bad and this is my mindset, but I will do
Yeah.
workout dates
Mm.
because I'm already busy. Let's do something that's going to be productive for the both of us. And if we can have fun working out, awesome. That's already something that's like deep rooted in my lifestyle.
Yeah. For me, first date deal breaker is just similar to yours, but not just like a dinner is fine, but something else after the dinner. Don't just take me to dinner and take me home. That's kind of boring. Like do something else. Okay, situationship, yes or no? Hell no.
We're at no. By the reasons we discussed before, no.
By the reasons we discussed before, I say no, but am I subscribing to that no? I don't know.
We will break the pattern eventually.
Yes, we will.
Today's the
Yes, we
day. We're
will.
marking it. This one I
Exactly.
love. If they wanted to, they would. True or false?
True. True.
100%. I also want to do a side story here because one of the beautiful love stories I look up to is my sister and her boyfriend. They met, like, their meet cute online. She's a streamer. They're both gamers, and that's how they met, was online. He lives out in Portland, Oregon. She lives in Michigan, and he moved, uprooted his life from his family, his friends, his job, and moved to Michigan for her. And it's just like, if he wanted to, if he was in love, he would make things happen. Any excuse that
Exactly.
some guy is making, if he
Exactly.
truly cares about you, he will uproot his entire life and come.
I agree. And not even in love, like even at the stage of dating where you're not necessarily in love with somebody or you don't love them. But if you have a really strong interest in that person, you would do whatever you need to do to see them. Like
Exactly.
period. Like nobody is that busy to not make 5 minutes to
I
give
know,
you a
because
phone
even I
call
make time when I'm
or
interested in a
whatever.
guy.
Exactly. I'm
I
like,
work
do you
four
think I'm
jobs and I
not?
still
Do you
find time.
think exactly? Do you think I'm not busy? Do you think I don't have a life? No. But if I like you, I make time for it and I move things around if I want to freaking see you. That's all I'm saying.
100%. I'm like dating. In reality, dating's just learning. Like, you have to test the waters. You have to know what you like or you don't like.
Yeah.
But you also have to figure out who you are in the process. Because if you don't know
Mhm.
who you are, you're not going to be able to give to a relationship. At the end of the day, a relationship takes two people, give and take. It's never 100%. Someone's
Yeah.
100% one day, maybe 80%, and the other person only has 20%. And that's fine. It's not always going to be
Yes.
perfect.
Yes, I have heard that from a couple people, and I love that because it's true. When the one is at 80, the other one has to pull the other 20. If one is at zero, then the other person needs to pull the 100% for whatever reason, or 50-50. Like every day, you're gonna be at different levels, but you have to be a partnership, like a team. You know, a team in a sport, they're work together. It's not a one man sport. And the same goes with a relationship or with marriage. It's a team. You do things together. That's what I want. Like I know in a relationship, especially if you're together for years and years on end, which is what I want, every single little moment is not gonna be happiness and flowers and unicorns. No. But I want us to be able to get through the tough moments together, doing the best that we can. And I want you to rely on me and I want to rely on you and I want to do it together. That's what I want. That's all I ask for. I don't ask for happiness and rainbows 100% of the time, but I ask for commitment to not quit when things are hard.
The theme of the podcast, just two girls, not just try not to quit.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, Audrey. So this was a great episode. We got into a lot of good stuff. I appreciate you for being so vulnerable, and I feel like there's a lot more things to touch on this topic. If anybody out there wants to hear us talk about anything other thing that we didn't hit touch on, just let us know and we will do it. Now, the question that we close every episode with, how does trying not to quit look for you right now?
Well, I am pretty sick today. So just being here, I think if you see the videos, I'm like sweating because I have a little bit of a fever.
Oh my god.
So not quitting is just still showing up. Even when
Mhm.
life's throwing you hardballs, just keep at it. Like your best, even like the relationship thing. If you only have 20% to give and that's your
Yeah.
100%, you're still giving 100%.
Hmm.
How about
Exactly.
you? What
Not to quit. Honestly, to keep your attitude up and to still bring the best out of yourself, even when things on some area of your life is not going great. If you're emotional about some stuff that are going on, maybe with your family, with whatever it is, which some I'm going through some stuff right now with family and stuff like that that actually like bring my energy down a little bit. But I try to not focus on that and just keep my attitude up and treat everybody, with a good attitude because in those times can be very easy to be rude to somebody for no reason because you're feeling things on the inside. So I just try to remind myself to not do that and to be kind and to be joyful around others. It's not faking it. It's not being fake. It's just taking a deep breath and not letting that side of your life affect every other area. All right. Awesome. So we've reached the end of the episode. We've had a lot of fun. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode that is posted every Wednesday. Please follow us on social media on Instagram, Two Girls Try Not to Quit. These two girls love you, and we'll see you next week.